Hello, Cloud Dwellers! As part of our ongoing Marketing Cloud CERT review, we're back today to explore another question that has to do with email delivery. This time, we're exploring the purpose of send classifications when sending email messages from Marketing Cloud. Let's check it out. This week's question asks, what's the purpose of a send classification? Now, if you don't know what a send classification is, this is a deep, dark mystery, and let's explore what this means before we get started in jumping into the answers. So when we talk about a send classification, what we're talking about is a combination of two things. The first thing is called a sender profile. A sender profile is basically information about who an email is from, including the name of the sender, along with their email address. Now, the purpose of a sender profile and a send classification is, let's say that you work for a company as a marketing manager, and your responsibility is sending emails out on behalf of other people. So the emails aren't from you directly, but they're from other people within the organization, and so you need to almost have an address book that you can tap into to be able to say, this email is being sent out from this person. So the sender profile would be who that person is. So it identifies who the email is from. The second part of this is what is called a delivery profile. Now, a delivery profile identifies how the email is being sent out by the company, and by how we mean which IP address do they use. Now, for a lot of people, for example, you and I may only have a single IP address when working from home. Different companies may have different IP addresses that they use for different purposes. For example, you may have an IP address that is dedicated for commercial email sends only, and you may have a second IP address that's used for transactional email sends only. And as a result, you would choose which IP address you want to be able to use. Now, in our example here, we only have one IP address, so we're going to go with whatever the default is and put it together. And by putting it together, it's almost like a sandwich we make. We say, okay, send classification, you're going to be a combination of a sender profile and a delivery profile pushed together. Now, how do we make this? Now, this is an admin function, but when we come to create a send classification, the first thing we need to do is give it a name. So we say this will be our roller baby commercial send or something like that. And then we will say, okay, now what does this mean? Well, we can choose between being a commercial or a transactional send here. And there are slightly different rules for how these emails are handled. We'll go with commercial here. And then from our sender profile, we go in and we choose the one we created, which is our roller baby commercial, for example. So that is the name of the person or the part of the organization this email is from. From the delivery profile, we'll go with whatever we have. We only have our default, so we'll go with that. And we can also choose to determine how quickly this email may go out if there's other traffic. For example, do you want to be put to the front of the line, or do you want to basically save some money by going a little bit less on priority? We'll go with normal here, and that should work out. And then you save that, and that is your new send classification. And now when an email gets sent out the door, you can go into your address book and say, make sure it goes from this send classification. So now when we take a look at our answers, hopefully this will make a little bit more sense. Let's look at answer A, which says the purpose of a send classification is that it determines deliverability score. Well, the truth of the matter is that when email gets delivered, it gets delivered by internet service providers. Think of them as almost like post offices that deal with lots of different people who are there, people who sign up for their services. So in this case, the deliverability score would determine, are you a good candidate or do you look like a spammer? So it has absolutely nothing to do with the send classification. This is simply how the email is being sent out from your company, who it's from. So we're going to say, nope, that is not going to be the right answer. Let's look at B, where it says defines canned spam settings, sender profile, and send priority. Well, it sounds very familiar for what we just did. And of course, the canned spam settings have to do with whether it's a commercial send or a transactional send. So B looks like a strong candidate. Let's look at C and D. C says chooses subscriber key source. And again, sometimes you find answers which make you scratch your head going, I don't even know what this means. And because it's a bit nonsensical. So does it choose a subscriber key source? Well, subscriber key is a unique identifier in a data extension, but it has nothing to do with what we're doing here. So we're going to say, no, thank you. And then finally, answer D, assigns content builder permissions. And in this case, content builder may give you an opportunity to allow you to share certain things with other people within other business units. Again, has nothing to do with email deliverability, has nothing to do with send classification. So we come back here and our answer is going to be B, defines canned spam settings, sender profile, and send priority. To explore other questions and answers surrounding Marketing Cloud certification and mastery, please subscribe to this channel and we'll drop a new question for you to check out every week. Also, this question was taken directly from our new and free certification quiz featuring 125 practice questions covering the Email Specialist Certification Exam. If this sounds like something you could use, simply go to blueclouduniversity.com and click on the CERT Prep tab to get started. Thanks for dropping by. I'll see you again next time.